Thank you for joining us today, and welcome to another JASI instructional video. This video is entitled Workflows Checkout Wizard Part 2. In this video, we are focusing on the Checkout Wizard property settings. To access and modify the property settings, you must log in with your Super account. Next, right-click on the Checkout Wizard and select Properties. There are three tabs: Behavior, Defaults, Helpers. We will begin with the Behavior tab. Under Configure, you may select or clear the following checkboxes. The Hide Current User option controls the display of the Current User Record button. If the checkbox is selected, the current user will not appear. The Hide Current Item option controls the display of the Current Item Record button. If the checkbox is selected, the current item will not appear. The Extend User's Library Privilege option allows staff to renew a patron's expired privileges during checkout. If the checkbox is cleared, the staff cannot extend the patron's expired privileges. The Pay Bills option allows your staff the option of paying bills while performing a checkout. Proxy Checkout with Cancel Hold option allows an item placed on hold by a patron to be checked out by a member of the patron's user group. Checking out the item cancels the hold. If you are interested in setting up user groups, please contact the JASI service desk. Checkout Reserved Desk Items allows a staff member to check out items on hold. If the checkbox is cleared and a staff member attempts to check out an item with a hold placed on it, an error message "Item on Reserve" will display. If the checkbox is selected, items on hold can be checked out without an override. The Automatically Restart Checkout on Item ID Error option will detect if an incorrect item ID is entered and clear the item ID field. When an incorrect item ID is entered, a message will pop up: the item ID entered is not valid. The item ID field is then cleared. If Display Circulation Note is selected, the item circulation note, if it exists, will display when the item is charged. The Cache Item IDs option allows you to scan multiple IDs with a wedge RFID scanner into the item ID field. Use the scroll bar to view all the scanned items. These IDs will be cached in the Item ID field until you click the Checkout Item to User button. Workflows will then send each item ID to the server for checkout. Overrides that display can be handled individually, and after an override is handled, Workflows will continue to send the remaining item IDs. If the Display an Alert for the Next to Last Renewal property is selected, an alert will display at renewal when the second to last renewal is reached. This alert displays for seen and unseen renewals. The Automatic Renewal option determines whether the wizard will suppress the item already charged to this user message and automatically renew the item. Additionally, it will determine if the renewal will be recorded as seen or unseen. Select one of the following options. Automatically renew items already checked out as seen. This will renew the item automatically and records all renewals as seen. Automatically renew items already checked out as unseen. This option renews the item automatically and records the renewal as an unseen renewal. This option is useful if the library allows for renewals by telephone or email. Do not automatically renew items already checked out. This option displays the item already charged to this user message, so the user can decide whether to renew the item or not. Staff can then record the transaction as a seen or an unseen renewal. Check out all items associated with a set. If you select the Yes option, when a set ID or parent ID is scanned, then all items associated with the circulation set will be checked out. You will not be required to type or scan all item IDs for the items within the set. If you select the Prompt option, the wizard will display a list of items associated with the set at checkout. The list includes checkboxes for you to select which items will be included in the checkout. User Alerts display, you may select or clear the following checkboxes. Display Alert for delinquent users. This displays a message during checkout that the user status has a delinquent, blocked, or barred status. If your site uses the user group feature and a user has inherited the delinquency status of other users in the group, the alert will notify you. Display user alerts Displays a message during checkout with important information from the user record. If the user has alerts such as available hold, claims returned item, privilege expired, and so on. Display user blocks in a separate window. Displays the user information in a separate window. By default, this option is not selected. Display alert for previous loan. This option displays a message during checkout if the patron has previously checked out a copy of the title. This property is available only in libraries that use the charge history feature. The sound options provide circulation staff of an audio warning for specific issues. To specify the sound file that will play for alerts, click the Select File gadget for the corresponding sound property and select a WAV file for the listed issues. The Charge Printing section will allow you to configure your printed receipts. By default, your library should be set up with a Print Date Due slip. For more information on how to configure printed receipts, please watch our JASI instructional video entitled Altering Checkout Print Slips. Email checkout receipt options are available, but by default, the email options are not selected. The Display Email All Checkouts Receipt button option will display an Email All Checkouts button in the Checkout Wizard interface. Staff may use this option to send an email to patrons containing information on all checkouts on the patron's account. The Display Email Current Checkouts Receipt button option will display an Email Current Checkouts button in the Checkout Wizard interface. Staff may use this option to send an email to the patron's email account containing information on the current Checkout Wizard session. Please note that both these options require that a patron have an email address identified in their user profile. The template field is to remain blank. If you have decided to enable one of the email receipts options and attempt to send a receipt to a patron without an email entered in the patron record, the following options will determine how workflows will deal with the transaction. If you do not want workflows to ask for an email, select Do Not Prompt. If the circulation staff attempt to email a receipt, an error message reading Email Not Found will appear. If you wish to be prompted for an email address, select the Prompt for Email Address option. This will display a message, Please type a valid email address. Note, this will not modify the patron record. The prompt will perform a one-time email to the patron's address. If you wish to have the circulation staff modify the patron record with an email address, then select the Prompt to Open Modify User Helper. The last section of the Behavior tab is Accountability. By default, the option Allow Permitted Charge Without Override should be selected. The second tab is the Defaults tab. Do not alter these options. The payment type should be set to Credit Account, and the credit reason should be set to Auto Pay. The third tab, Helpers, determines what helper options will be available in the Checkout Wizard display. By default, all but 3 options are selected. Each of the helpers can be configured, and each should be set up for your library in the same manner as the corresponding wizard. The 3 options that are not selected are Cache Management, Print User Records, and Enable Add Photo. The Cache Management option should only be selected if you have enabled the Cache Management option. For more information on cache management, please contact the JASI Service Desk. The Print User Cards option is not selected as this feature is not currently supported. The Enable Add Photo can be selected to upload images of your patrons to the patron user record. The Start with Search Help option will launch the User Search Helper before you can start the checkout process. Thank you for watching.